At Right On Replicas, we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review covers the Tamiya 120 scale Ferrari F2001 kit, number 20052. This kit's been released several times in the same version, and it's still available online and in larger hobby stores. This particular box build was dated 2002, and in the box you get about 140 pieces molded in red, black, clear with rubber tires. There's some nice decals, stickers, and some photo etch parts. As typical with the Tamiya builds, the instructions are in multiple languages, and all the color callouts are depicted in Tamiya paints. Well, you can build the F1 cars, but they're a little different than regular American cars. They kind of are made from the inside out, and this requires painting and decaling the parts in steps and sub-assemblies and working with the parts that have been painted. So you have to take your time and let your parts fully dry before you assemble them and move on to the next process. These are the decals for this build. Quality is high and the color registry is good. And unless otherwise noted, I used Model Master liquid cement for assembly. Sometimes super glue will be used or some white glue. The paints, of course, are mostly Tamiya acrylic bottle paints and spray paints of various manufacturers. I find the use of setting solutions for your decals very helpful, especially on contours and irregular surfaces. Construction starts with the seat. The seat's a semi-gloss black with some orange side panels. Paint the seat belt, cross belt, and belt sides flat red with some silver latches. Then add the decals to the belts in the seat. Then install the belts. Add the steering wheel to the steering column and add that to the dash panel. Then add the decals, and note that the detail painting of the wheel here. Here is the assembled seat, and note that the instructions have a very detailed set of information for every button and decal that goes into the cockpit. The monocoque assembly starts next here for the body shell. Install the side pads into the monocoque. Paint the inner areas and the back half of the monocoque a semi-gloss black with Ferrari red on the exterior. Then install the seat and add the lower shell. Now gather these parts to assemble the intake duct. Paint the duct and the seat frame semi-gloss black inside and Ferrari red outside. The surface cover and duct fins are Ferrari red also, and paint the seat pad flat red on the seat frame. Install the intake duct with the fins, add the seat frame with decal number 50 on each side rail, and assemble the service door. Now gather the side air ducts and assemble those, painted Ferrari red with semi-gloss black. Install the side air ducts onto the monocoque. The front suspension parts can be painted semi-gloss black as a whole, and then the details painted. The connections on the ends are gunmetal. The brake disc is painted gunmetal and titanium silver with titanium silver calipers. The hub outer rim is aluminum. Assemble the hubs using the poly cap and brake disc. Then install the upper arms, add the lower arms, attach the supports from the body slots to the lower arms, and snap the hubs into place on both sides and add the tie rod to the hubs. We'll begin work on the under tray now, so assemble the rear side vents and center frame. Now give the unit an overall semi-gloss black color, and then paint the center of the bottom a flat earth wood tone. Add the clear spacers to the center. Now get these parts together and paint the radiator duct aluminum as well as the radiators and radiator hoses. The hoses themselves will have a clear red top coat. The controls and tubes added to the sides of the ducts are gunmetal, and the area the ducts sit on in the under tray is also aluminum. Assemble the ducts with the radiators, hoses, and controls and add them to the under tray. Then paint the front nose dam Ferrari red and install that. Now glue the monocle to the under tray assembly. Now use the template in the instruction sheet to cut out the necessary pieces for the rear suspension. There's also a gold and silver sticker that is included in the kit. Paint the suspension semi-gloss black. Now add the stickers in place and paint the details on the suspension as noted in the instructions. Now bring these parts to start work on the motor. Assemble the front and rear plates and add the valve covers and filter. Now paint the motor aluminum with a semi-gloss black transmission. The valve cover inserts are flat red and those are inserted, and paint the details as needed, but keep in mind most of the motor is never seen after finishing the model. Now go ahead and paint the radiator hoses aluminum with clear blue. Install the suspension from the previous step and paint the additional suspension parts as noted in the instruction sheet and install them in place on the transmission. I used some super glue here for strength. Now get the headers out and paint those steel color. Install the headers onto the motor. Paint the hub assembly parts semi-gloss black as a whole and then detail paint them. The brake disc is painted gunmetal and titanium silver with titanium silver calipers, and the hub outer rim is aluminum. Assemble the hubs with the poly cap and brake disc. Add the rear mount. The axle is titanium silver. Then install the axles into the suspension and transmission and snap the hub in place with the axle in the hub. Then add the rear support bars. Paint the intake a semi-gloss black and titanium silver and assemble it. Then install it to the motor. I also added the decals to it at this time. At the rear of the car, add the photo etch square and the clear square. For the rear foiler assembly, the top wing is white, the mid wing is Ferrari red, and the bottom is a semi-gloss black. The sides are semi-gloss black, and the inside they're Ferrari red on the outside. Now add the appropriate decals to the wing and assemble it. The nose section is assembled prior to paint. It is Ferrari red. The wing sides are Ferrari red also, and the wing top is Ferrari red with white decals applied and semi-gloss black on the bottom. The supports are aluminum and the camera is semi-gloss black. Now assemble the front nose and wing sections together and add the decals as noted in the instructions. Now add the nose and rear wing subassemblies to the vehicle. Now we'll assemble the rear cover. First, the sides and vents are installed, then paint the inside semi-gloss black with Ferrari red on the outside. And the side cowls are also painted semi-gloss black inside and Ferrari red outside. Paint the fuel covers and mirrors Ferrari red. The rear wing, antennas, and support bars are semi-gloss black. Once the paint work is completed and assembled the sections to the body, complete the decals on it as needed or shown in the instructions, and add any final small parts or like the photo etch parts like the mirror faces, and do all those extra pieces that need to be attached to the body like the antenna mass, etc. And note that the rear body cover on my eye sample anyway did not fit quite properly, so I just decided to glue it in place as I'm going to have a static model anyway. Now we turn to the wheels and we'll paint the rims aluminum and add the decals there. Note that there are a front and rear set for the tires, so insert the proper rims into the tires, and also these are directional, so make sure that you install them the way the arrows show in the instructions. Now install the front tires simply by inserting the pins on the rims into the holes of the brakes. Use the same method to install the rear tires, and the poly caps on the ends will hold them tight. This kit's been around for almost 15 years, and overall it comes out well, but it would take a lot of work to make a real contest model from it. It suffers from some fit and finish issues. The decals are a little thin on these older kits and difficult to install, but it went together pretty well. The engine is fairly simple, but the multi-part body is pretty difficult to paint and decal overall. Overall, it came out nicely, looks great, but you'll have to realize it'll take a little extra work to make it a perfect kit. We hope you liked our premium quality review from Right On Replicas, but to make sure you don't miss any, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on the web at www.rightonreplicas.com, and we're also on Facebook. Thanks again.